Do you sometimes just not get paid on eBay? What's wrong with these buyers? What's wrong with eBay? It's the oldest reselling platform on the internet, and people can still buy things from us without paying. It's unbelievable. It takes it out of our inventory where we can't sell it until it's resolved. Fortunately, eBay has been helping with this problem. So recently, eBay has changed whenever someone makes an offer, they have allowed that person, or sometimes required offer makers, to have a payment system set up so that if their offer is accepted, then the money gets taken out of the account. There's still a slight delay, so if you get an offer and you accept it, there sometimes just a few seconds, sometimes it can be 10 minutes. But on those types of accounts where eBay has done this, and eBay slowly rolls things out. So they don't just blanket the whole world with one uh, new addition or new feature of some kind. So it still isn't universal. But if someone makes an offer on something and you accept it, or you send somebody an offer and they accept it, a lot of those now, as of the time I'm recording this, a lot of those now are being paid very rapidly, and all is well. It's not like this lady in the picture here. We would have to just chase our money, our money. There's no other website on earth, no commerce site on earth that doesn't require payment at the time of purchase, except eBay. Now, people can still win auctions and not pay us for a while or ever. They can just never pay, in which case we have to close that deal somehow, and I'll show you how. Yeah, we have to cancel the sale and make sure the reason says buyer didn't pay. Now, you can do that after so many days. I believe it's after 4 business days. But I'm going to show you how to automate that, so you don't have to ever worry about this again. But it's still possible to have an auction, and 4 or 5 days later, they still haven't paid. And you can cancel it, but then you have to start the auction all over again. It's really messy. It's like eBay. Come on. Walmart doesn't do this to their online customers. That other place that starts with an A, and you know who I mean, that place doesn't do it to their sellers. I mean, and Walmart and Amazon, they have third-party sellers just like eBay does. Now, eBay is pretty much exclusively third-party sellers. It's funny that people will order things from Amazon and they'll think they're buying from this huge corporation, and they're just buying from people like you and me, people reselling on Amazon. And unlike eBay, sellers who sell on Amazon, they love to be stolen from using sky high fees, like 40% and higher fees, seller fees, just for the privilege of selling on Amazon. Fortunately, we at eBay, we eBay sellers, have extremely low reselling fees. I know they went up recently a dime. They went up a dime for every listing that we sell if it's over $10. But it's still dirt cheap. The percentages, especially if you're a top-rated seller, which you will be if you listen to me. If you're a top-rated seller, you get another 10% off your selling fees. And selling fees on eBay run from about 13.5 to about 14.5 to 15% a final value fee. And that's a good selling fee. It's very low, very reasonable, as many customers as eBay brings us. But we still have to do what this lady's doing once in a while, and that is run after our own money. Someone paid, they won an auction, they won an offer, and they just don't ever pay. eBay's slowly fixing that, but they haven't yet. Now, they've said for years they're going to fix this for us sellers, and they still really haven't completely at all. And I don't know how long it will be before they completely make this go away. But I'm going to show you how to automate this so that you don't have to worry about it anymore, except for auctions. We generally, sellers on the whole, don't do a lot of auctions anymore, unless it's something extremely collectible, one of a kind, rare, scarce. Then you might want to do an auction. But primarily, every seller who's smart sells using buy it now. Maybe you don't know what to price something at. You'll learn that here in the group. Over time, I realize it's still a fairly new channel, but you're going to learn this as fast as I can, as fast as I can get them up. So if you find that even if you find you don't have a lot of people who don't pay, This is what you should do to automate the process, and it will make it'll make your manual troubles go away. You'll never have to handle this problem yourself. You can let eBay handle it for you. Whenever a week or two goes by and you realize, well, I still haven't been paid for that, you won't have to do anything. That just won't happen anymore. Now, anytime you can automate something that you're going to do anyway, you should do that because it gives you more free time. And what do we do with free time in our business, in our eBay business? We list more items. Remember, list at least one item every day. I've told you that before. And you need to, the more that you list, the more you're going to sell. Here's how you fix unpaid buyers. You go to your seller hub and you scroll down to site preferences. And whenever you click site preferences, you're going to see a screen like this. It may not have selling preferences selected. Mine does simply because I was here last. But I want you to look down your left-hand navigation bar to selling preferences, and I want you to scroll down until you find preferences for items awaiting payment. This is how you do it on a web browser using a laptop, a desktop, or a tablet. How do you do it on a cell phone? I don't think you can. And if you can, I don't think you should. Too many problems. You're going to mess something up with all those little options. It's hard to see. It's hard to make sure you chose the right one. I strongly suggest you do something this important to your account. I strongly suggest you do this from a web browser. So I want you to look down under all listings in order. First of all, click selling preferences if it's not selected. And then under all listings and orders, you go to preferences for items awaiting payment and click edit. Now, I don't usually have this turned off. I turned it on because I wanted my option to look like what yours probably will look like. So I'm going to turn this on, and then I'm going to scroll down to the options. Select how long buyers have to pay for items. After that time, items still awaiting payment are automatically canceled. This is eBay saying, look, instead of a week or two or three goes by, the buyer hasn't paid, you finally remember, I need to go in there and cancel this sale and then tell eBay to relist my item, and then maybe it'll sell again. You don't have to do any of that. You just tell eBay you want to automatically cancel unpaid items, make that turned on, make sure you see the blue here, and then I want you to select the number of days. How many days do you select? It's up to you. You can give buyers 30 days to pay. Sometimes people don't care. I really don't care. My sales are fine. I'm not worried about it. I could give my buyers 30 days. I don't, simply because I have a little personal problem here. I don't think eBay should allow 1 day to pay for an item. No other site, as I said, no other commerce site on earth allows this. Certainly no major commerce site allows this. But you can give your buyers as long as you want, 30. Hey, if you just don't care, don't even give them 30 days. Turn the thing off and just let them have a year if you want. But I'm not. So what I do is 4 days. That's probably pretty strict, okay? Some buyers just need, I'll get paid on a week from Friday, and I just am going to let the transaction just kind of sit until then, and then I'll pay for it. And 4 days go by, and you've cut them off. Well, maybe they shouldn't be buying on eBay. I don't know if they're this strapped for cash, but that's their problem, not ours. I give my buyers 4 days simply because it should be 0 days. When someone buys something or wins an auction or accepts an offer of mine, or I accept an offer of theirs, they should pay for it. They have made a promise. Another sale, another trip to the bank. They've made a promise. They've said, I promise I'm going to pay for this and I'm going to buy it. And maybe they will. Most buyers do pay. That's great. Most do. But the ones that don't, I'm only going to give them 4 days. Now, it's a little more generous than it sounds. It's 4 business days. So if there's a holiday, if there's a weekend, you don't count those. But I just give them 4. I think 7 is more reasonable. But remember, these are generally always regarded as business days. So it's 7 business days, which is like could be 2 weekends worth. It could be 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 days total before you get your payment. I don't know. I don't like that. But you're going to find, as you see more and more about what I do, you're going to find that I generally give buyers the benefit of the doubt in many, many cases. And so it's odd that I'm being so strict with unpaid items, but again, the only website on earth that doesn't require people to pay for something when they buy something. And the problem with us is, you and I, is our inventory is on hold. We can't sell it again because we don't know if this person's going to buy or not yet. So I am saying after 4 days, you might want to choose 7 or 11. I think 4 is reasonable. Then eBay, I want you to, after that, after 4 days, items still awaiting payment are automatically canceled. I want you to cancel all buys that haven't been paid after 4 business days. And then I tell eBay to automatically relist canceled items. I don't want to think about this. I don't want to get an email that says we canceled this sale, and then I go, okay, well, let me stop what I'm doing. Let me stop listing, and listing's where we make our money. Let me stop what I'm doing and relist this item that was returned and to my inventory, and eBay freed up because the buyer never paid. I don't want to do any of that. I'm too busy trying to make money. Problems like this are occasional, and I just want them handled. Therefore, automatically relist canceled items. Definitely, I want that. So do you, I would think. If you want to exclude buyers, and a lot of sellers ignore this, I don't think you should. I think this can be critical. If you want to exclude buyers from having their items awaiting payment automatically canceled, list them here. Okay, once in a while, you're going to get a buyer that you like, he likes you, she likes you, they buy from you all the time. And sometimes they'll buy 2 or 3 or 4 items over a period of a few days and go, can I just pay, after I buy everything I want and see what you're listing? And, oh, I see you're listing a lot of old National Geographic magazines right now. I like those, I collect those. So let me buy a few and give me 2 or 3 days, keep listing and let me see if I want any more. Well, I have no problem with that. Great. I like those buyers. I like those repeat buyers. I know good and well that this person who's bought 20 times from me, he or she's going to pay. He or she wants what they're buying. There might be some conflict in their life where all of a sudden they fall off the face of the earth, but that's not going to happen. Well, in those cases, if I get a buyer like that and he or she's beginning to buy some things, I will come to this screen and I will put their username here, which means after 4 days, don't cancel their sales. Because I know this person, I trust this person, they've bought a bunch of times before. They might take 2 or 3 weeks to load up a bunch of things they're buying from me, and then they're going to check out all at once and pay one shipping, combined shipping fee and all of that. And I'm happy with that. They're happy with that. So you can exclude your really good repeat buyers by adding their username. Now, I don't keep a running list. I will, if I get a buyer like that and they start buying things and I see it takes 2 or 3 days, I will come here and I will add their name to this list for a while. Once they kind of stop buying from me, I'll delete their names because, a year from now they might buy one item and I want them to pay on time just as you do and everybody else. So that's the reason for that. And then you click Save. What happens after that? If someone buys something from you at an auction or they make an offer and you accept it or vice versa, and they're not forced to pay immediately because of whatever reason, this buyer just isn't in that category, eBay will take care of everything. After 4 business days, they will cancel this sale, not give me a strike for canceling the sale. They will return the item as they'll relist the item. eBay will consider it active. You should consider it active. And eBay will give that buyer an unpaid item strike. We don't really know what that means. eBay is very vague. They don't like to tell sellers anything about what they do to buyers. So we don't really know how many unpaid item strikes a buyer gets before their account is limited or closed. We don't know. You could test it, but I wouldn't test it with your selling account because you don't want it closed because you just were testing the account. I just wouldn't worry about it. I don't worry about it. So we don't know what happens to the buyer, but eBay has promised us, they've been a little more vocal about this recently. We will give the buyer an unpaid item strike, and that will count against them. We just don't know the extent of how that counts against them. So going forth, after you make that change to your account and automate your cancellation process for unpaid buyers, you will no longer be like this lady. You won't be chasing after dollars all the time whenever someone doesn't pay you. I mean, these buyers can be slow. I have several times canceled eBay canceled for me after 4 business days, and I had a buyer 3 or 4 days later say, "Oh, I really wanted that. It looks like eBay canceled. Is there any way I can buy it?" And I just send them a link to the. I don't block those buyers. Things happen, problems happen. People go out of town. People forget things like this. But this is actually pretty common comparatively. I would say 30% of all my unpaid items that were canceled, about 30% of those buyers, they write me, they message me and say, "I really want this. What do I do to get it?" And by then, eBay's relisted it, and they don't know that. So I just find the item. I mean, these guys are slow. I just find the item and I give them the link to that eBay. You cannot, in an eBay message, give a web address of any place on earth except eBay. So another eBay item of yours is perfectly fine to put inside an eBay message. Put that link to it. Now, it doesn't come up as an active link. It's just text, but they can copy and paste that into their browser. And those people end up buying and paying, and they get the item because they don't like what happened. eBay probably sent them an email that said, you now have an unpaid item strike, whatever that means. And they probably don't like that, but it's their fault. They're slow. They were slow to pay. It probably takes them 2 hours to watch 60 Minutes, right? That's how slow they are. But we don't care anymore. We're not going to be running after money anymore. We're going to be busy making money, listing new items for sale, listing items for sale, and we're going to let eBay handle everything for us.